why do people find it very hard to accept your discovery of the link between Sumerian and Tamil, and this happens even in India?
Yeah, this is a puzzle and something that I find it very difficult to understand, but I feel that Tamil scholarship in South India is dead, seriously speaking. It was not like 50 years ago or 60 years ago. I don't have much respect to say, to the quality of Tamil scholarship in South India at the moment. It was not so 50 years ago. And therefore, they are not interested in such studies. And even if there are people here and there interested in such studies, there is no political support. No finance available, no promotion of such studies and so forth. So, what I feel is that the Tamil culture is a decadent culture. It is not an academic culture yet. It was not an academic culture like 50 years ago. And therefore, I feel very unfortunate that my discoveries came at this time, of decadent Tamil culture. But I am hopeful, the truth will triumph, as they say.
Even with your hard evidences, doctor, to back up your claim?
Dr. Clyde Winters is an American black. He appreciates a lot of my studies right from the beginning. He also has done independent studies on relating the African culture in the Dravidian. He sees a lot of connections between Egyptians, Nubians and the Dravidians, Sumerians and so forth, but they were all blacks. Well, there are two kinds of blacks. One is the Negroid, the other one is the Semitic, the straight hat people. The Ethiopians and the Eritreans and so on, like us, they are very similar. And it is the sub-Saharan people, they call it, related to the Bantu language and so forth. So, there is one line of thinking, linking the Dravidian folks with the Africans. Now, there are others. He also, Dr. Winters also claims that Dravidian spread to Central Asia, Japan, Korea and that kind of a thing. And there are many other scholars in Australia who claim that some aboriginal languages in Australia are related to Tamil, Dravidian languages. And I do not think they go as far as to say that they are from Sumeria, but they do admit they are Dravidian languages. Now, Professor Sadasivam from Sri Lanka, he has done a lot of research on the relationship of Sumerian and Tamil, but unfortunately he is not around anymore. And therefore, there are a few other scholars like this. Dr. Hall, a few decades ago, he admitted, the Sumerians resemble the Dravidian folks from India, but that line of development, in historical research was not continued. So, I feel that a lot of politics involved. For one thing, to identify who the Sumerians and the many claims there, because the Sumerians are great people. They were the founders of human civilization as such, and therefore, there is an intense competition from many quarters to claim that they are, our ancestors and that kind of a thing. And therefore, from the perspective of many Western scholars, the claim that they are actually the ancestors of Tamils, they have some kind of reluctance. But despite all this, you find that there are many others who are agreeing to it. And of course, many people are not interested in such studies, but those who are interested will see, if they take the trouble, that it is Tamil language. Another thing is that the number of people who know Dravidian languages is very few among the Europeans. Most of them are Sanskrit oriented, and they do not see Tamil language anything ancient, as I claim, or many Tamil scholars claim. So, there is a kind of a reluctance, but it is up to us to push the program.
Doctor, you have also made another claim, that is Sanskrit is an offshoot of Tamil. Now, all the while we have been made to understand that Sanskrit is much older than Tamil. Now, can you tell us why you say that Sanskrit is actually an offshoot of Tamil?
You find that only till recent times the ancient roots of Indian civilization is being discovered. But before that, for at least 2000 years in India, the oldest texts were Vedas, and therefore it was quite easy, to propagate that the Vedic language, Vedas, is a starting point of all the other languages, and therefore it is from Vedic Sanskrit that you have other Indian languages, and the Vedas influenced the Tamil culture and that kind of a thing. And therefore, the idea that Sanskrit is the mother language of Indian languages, Indian culture was accepted and so forth. But now major new discoveries. One is the Indus Valley civilization, and generally speaking now people believe that Indus Valley civilization was Dravidian, the language is Dravidian. Controversy, but then the symbols there, Sivalingam and all those things, Shiva and all those things shows that the culture of Indus Valley civilization is something very similar to the present day in the Indian culture, Hindu culture and so forth, and possibly non-Vedic, Now comes discovery, the Sumerian is archaic Tamil, and it changes the whole situation. What is interesting is that Tamil language, the Sumerian is archaic Tamil, and there is a historical continuity from Sumerian to present day Tamil, but also the fact is that it is the Sanskrit language has Sumerian as its base, that out of Sumerian they developed the Sanskrit language because of various kinds of influences of foreign languages. And therefore, you find that the Sumerian is the base language of even Sanskrit, and therefore, Sanskrit is also a variety of Tamil. So, this is a new view, and of course, it will take centuries even, decades even to accept the fact. But it is going to be a cultural shock, because for so long the Brahmins have been promoting the view that the Vedas is the foundation of Hindu culture, Sanskrit is the foundation of Indian languages, and therefore, when I present such views that Sanskrit is in fact a transformation of Sumerian, which is archaic Tamil, they are not going to accept it just like that. It will take some time, but it is a fact, and we are making a beginning in the re-understanding the history of Indian languages and Indian culture, and the primary role Tamil language has played in it.
In conclusion, you have proven without doubt that Sumerian is archaic Tamil and Sanskrit is an offshoot of Tamil. Now, we also find that the Japanese as well as the Korean languages, they have a lot of similarities with the Tamil language. Now, apart from that, the Indus Valley civilization looks more like a Tamil civilization than anything else. And even in Easter Island, there are Tamil inscriptions, and the Australian Aborigines, they too have language which is quite similar to Tamil. Now, can we conclude that Tamil could be the mother of all languages on earth? What's your comment?
I don't think so, but you can say that Tamil language and Tamil related language forms a very large group of languages, that is for sure. But there are many other languages not at all agglutinative. For example, the Chinese languages, the tonic language, like Burmese and so forth, they have a different history. Similarly, many African languages, they have different history. But it is a fact that Many languages are agglutinative, and Tamil is related to that. And such languages you mentioned just now, Japanese, Korean and so on, may be related to Sumerian. In fact, I made a study of the Japanese terms for their religion, Shintoism. So, most of the technical term in Shintoism appears to me to be derived from Sumerian. So, it may be possible that a group of Sumerians in fact migrated, went to Korea and from there to Japan, or they may have migrated to Japan through the land route, Silk Route and so forth. And similarly, there must have been a migration of Dravidian folks from Africa or even Sumeria or from South India to Australia. It is well proved now in terms of language as well as DNA studies, genetic studies. So, in this large group of people, you can say that they are related to Tamil, Dravidian languages, but that does not mean that there are no other languages independent of the Dravidian languages. But you can say, that a lot of languages are Dravidian and they are very ancient.
We would like to thank you so much for spending your evening with us with a lot of insights and a lot of knowledge both on the archaic Tamil, the Sumerian language as well as the civilization. And we hope that other researchers would take up the challenge to come up with much more findings to share with the rest of the world. With this, we thank you so much. Vanakkam.
And vanakkam.